I made a video not long ago about how fear gets in all of our way, and the ones of us who look fear in the eyes and get through it are the ones that succeed. We all have fear. Some people are just way better at hiding it because they don't let it stop them. So it looks to everyone who's looking at them from an outside perspective, it looks like they don't have any, but they do. We all experience fear. It's the most common human emotion. It's built into us to protect us. But when you're trying to get outside your comfort zone, you've got to be aware that your brain is going to try to keep you in that safe position where you're at, where it's comfortable. It's going to try to talk you out of doing risky things. The people I know who have become the most successful, who continue to grow, everybody I know who continues to grow fights the fear every time it comes up. They get through it, and then they're doing more and more and more all the time. They are risk takers. Those are the people who are growing, happy, successful, whatever term you want to put on it, because success is one that people throw around. Oh, I don't want that kind of success. I want this kind of whatever. They're not miserable, alone, doing nothing. Okay? That's the point. So what I'm trying to say is a lot of people who are comfortable, like the people I know who only do the things that make sense. They only do the things that are comfortable for them. They only do what's within, oh, I don't want to drive that far. That's too hard. They'd only do the easy stuff that somehow makes sense and is comfortable. Those are the ones that don't grow. They are stagnant, the opposite of growth. They're firmly planted where they are, and it's a miserable place. No matter what they look like on the outside, what they're showing you, they're not actually happy. So the people that are happy are the ones that continue to grow because they keep pushing themselves. And then they can look themselves in the mirror every day. That's the reason they're happy, because they look themselves in the mirror and they know they're doing stuff. They're doing everything they can. They know they conquered things yesterday, and that's the plan for today. So just that thought process builds a person whose strength is undeniable. And also their happiness is a part of the fact that they're not waiting around for tomorrow to do things. They're not waiting for anything. They just have the fear that we all go through, that thing where we're worried about what people will say and if they will like it or this or that. They have all that. They just throw it away and keep it moving. That's the thing. It doesn't really matter what anyone says about me and how maybe something I do turns out, or how it sounds, or how it looks, or I don't give. I don't give. Do you know why I don't give? Because their opinions are not going to make me happy. Doesn't matter if they're all great. It doesn't matter if they're all bad. No matter what, them feeling however they feel doesn't make me feel anything. Not happiness. What it does, if you let it, it'll let you feel negative if you start to believe that what they're saying is true and all this nonsense. So that's why it's like, even if somebody gives their opinion to me about something, I take it with a grain of salt, just like you guys should. In other words, realize every time you read a comment, it's mostly about them. Whoever's writing you some negative comment or thought or whatever, it's all about that person. That's why I often feel bad for people who can't say anything positive. They have to say something negative. As soon as you get somebody who's like that, you know they're miserable, they're depressed, they're upset with themselves. They don't like where they are in life. They probably had a bad day. They wish things were different. They think they're in imaginary competition with you. It could be any of these things. But the point is, none of them matter to me, and they shouldn't matter to you, because the mindset of somebody who keeps going every day and keeps moving is not concerned with any of that. You just avoid it. If you see it, you just avoid it. Don't even give them the time of day of a response. Far too often, I find people get some sense of reward for going back and forth with people. And if they're a negative person you're going back and forth with, that's only going to keep you in the negativity longer. So I've made the mistake sometimes, but the bottom line is, whenever I catch myself doing that, they don't even deserve a reply. So I want everyone to realize your fear of why you're not doing things could be tied up in what people will say. And if it is, don't let it be. You can't let it be, because all they're doing is keeping you a prisoner inside your own mind. That's what they're doing. So don't worry about what they're going to say. and free yourself from that prison. Now, this is a comment I got on that video that was really a poignant comment, well said, and it was somebody who, I feel like this opinion is shared by a lot of people, so I wanted to talk about it. Their username is JC-JR9HW. Okay? Great comment. Here we go. They write, "You're absolutely right about all of this. I wish I found your channel sooner." And this was on that video about the fear, okay? "I wish I found your channel sooner. I'm in my early 50s now, and I think I'm a bit too old for the music thing. It's all I ever wanted to do from as early as I can remember, but I waited too long due to fear. I'm not exactly sure what I was scared of, because deep in my heart, I really believed the songs that I wrote were truly special and that a lot of people would like them. Don't be like me, kids. Good luck to you." Now, right there, this is something I think that there's a reason the phrase, the youth is wasted on the young, is something that people say a lot. It's because when you are young, you never have the thought that one day you won't be around. It doesn't linger. If you do, it's passing, it's fleeting. But unless you've had like near-death experiences, real trauma, real hardship, unless you've had that at a young age, it's really hard to process the fact that one day you won't be here. You think you have tomorrow and tomorrow. That's why people put things off. Tomorrow, because you haven't really processed the fact that you're not going to be here. And because of that, you need to get it done today. There is no tomorrow. You need to, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Now, when somebody like this, who's in their 50s, said this to me, it brought up a lot of things, because number one, and I watched this actually on a Rick Beato video not long ago, he actually talked about how he had all these things happen in his life, right? But the success he's gotten from YouTube, which gives him so much joy, happiness, it allows him to be who he really is, and people are responding very well to that. He didn't start that until he was in his late 50s, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be off on the date exactly, but he started that late. And look where he is now. There's no time that's too late for people like us who are creative musician, songwriters, producers, mixers. There's no time that's too late. Sure, the thought that if I could have done this when I was younger would have been great. But that's just looking back at the past, and it's also comparing in a way to people who have made it who are younger. You can't do that. Like I said, everyone's journey is going to be totally different as you embark on a creative path. No two people experience the same journey. So maybe yours required you to go through what you went through, because that builds you into who you are and who you need to be in order to make what you're doing, the art, better. In order to bring life experience that people who are younger don't have. They don't have the life experience that was built from the years of everything they put in. They don't have that. They have whatever they have in the limited amount of time they've been alive. Maybe what you have is something that you can now write a better song that's more heartfelt, that's more, something that everyone can relate to. And we don't care, remember, keep in mind, if everyone likes it, that doesn't matter. But maybe what you have inside you is something that they don't, because of what you've been through and the years it took you to get there and process all of it and be able to turn it into something that is digestible for other people. You understand what I'm saying? You can't look at it like, oh, I'm not young anymore, so it's all over for me. Luckily, we don't play football. We're not in a physical job. There's no age range for learning how to do stuff that doesn't take any physical strength. I mean, literally, we're compressing audio with plugins. We don't have to physically compress it with our hands and body. So what needs to be it's not a young man's game. I mean, the young people who do well in this business, great, they got there early, but maintaining that success and maintaining the momentum that they may start when they're young, there's also life that comes into play, and that derails tons of people. So if you're not dedicated on a daily basis and you don't keep that as being like the most important thing in your life, it'll go away. It'll all go away. So you need, no matter how old you are and when you start doing it and how, maybe things start happening for you, well, it's going great. You still need to stick with it every day with the same drive, work ethic, tenacity, to work harder than everybody else, to fight the fear. Every one of us needs to do that, no matter how old we are. So that's why maybe you needed to take until you're in your 50s to get what you needed to process to now be as great as you can be. All right. And that's the thing I wrote to him. I basically wrote that in a reply. And then I wrote, if the fire still exists in you, don't let it disappear, because it does burn out after a certain amount of time where you're not tending to that fire. It'll go away. And you don't want it to go away, because for a lot of us, music is what makes us happy. It's what gives us a sense of purpose. It's what makes us proud. It's what makes us happy. I mean, it gives us energy. It all the emotions that some other people feel from a ton of other things, a lot of us get that from music. That's why as soon as we stop doing music, a lot of us go literally mad. I mean, the people who really love music, where it's a part of them and they need to be involved in it, they need to be around it, when they are forced by, life or their wife or their girlfriend or whoever like that says, no, we don't want you to play in a band anymore. We don't want you to. As soon as that starts happening and they give in to that, they go internally mad. Most of them, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of the time, those people who don't were never really meant to do it in the first place. Because the ones that know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is what they should be doing, they can't let it go. Doesn't matter who says what. Doesn't matter what's on their plate. They find the time to do it. Because that's the thing. We always find time to do what's important to us. Always. That's why the people who like bodybuild or work out, that's the most important thing they have to do. That's all they want to do. So they keep doing it because they know how important that is to them. Well, if music is that important to you, you never let that fire go out, because it's easy to ride the wave of momentum when there's momentum. And when there's not, it's very hard. And this is also why I say be self-reliant, because you could have other writing partners. You could have people that you like to write with, perform with, whatever. But your life, your future, your happiness is too important to let it be in their hands when they don't show up or decide something is more important to them, or now they want to do whatever. They're telling you one thing, but they're not actually showing up when the time is right. When they need to come, they're not showing up. Well, you can't possibly leave your life hanging in the balance of their indecision. So that's why I say being self-reliant is extremely important when it comes to music, because no one will care as much as you if you care that much. And that's how it should be, because only the people who care that much actually get anywhere. Because this is not an easy business. So you have to love it. You have to love the art of doing it, not just the results. Because if you leave your attention like if you put all your emphasis and energy into how many likes and how many this and how many that, if you do all that, it's never going to go anywhere for you, because that's too flippant. It's too here one day, gone tomorrow. There's no steady anything on that. And that's the point. You can't anchor yourself and your stability of mental clarity to something that's up one day and down the next. It's impossible. You need to love what you're doing. You need to love the art. It needs to matter to you beyond all else. And if it does, that's why I'm telling you, if you really believe that and you just lean into that, you won't care when somebody says this, blah, blah, blah. They're just blah, blah, blah. They're not you. They're not you. They don't care as much as you do about your stuff. So it's like somebody going in, like I said before, to a kitchen of a famous chef, and they say, this could use more salt. The chef doesn't care. You want more salt? Add more salt. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. Doesn't matter what they say. It's all within you. All of it. Your success rides on you, and your failure rides on you. And if you let yourself be swayed by other people's emotions, other people's bad days, other people's feelings of what they like and don't like, you'll never get anywhere. So you look within yourself. Is the fire still alive? Because if it is, you can keep it going. There's nothing that says you can't, no matter how old you are. And if you've lived longer, I'm telling you, you actually have a leg up. You have a leg up because you know more about life. So if you're a songwriter, if you're a creative person in any way, you can shape what you know about life and put it into the music in any aspect, any respect. Whether you're mixing, producing, songwriting, it's all part of the same thing. So trust me when I tell you, even if you're a manager for somebody, you're managing an art. I mean, it's literally, you could do so much more with life experience than you could do without it. So I hope this helps. I know somebody out there needs to hear this. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you. Talk to you guys soon. Evan Jaffe, Custom Cut Studios. You guys got this. Take it easy.